One of the greatest cavalries in the history of mankind was the Polish cavalry in the 1640s, who defeated the Muslims in Austria. And the French sided with the Muslims. But you guys saved Europe. You guys saved Europe.
أنا أقول إن هذه الأحداث هي ممهدة لأمر أعظم سيأتي، وهي ممهدة لإسلام عظيم قادم وبقوة، لأن الأرض تحتاج إلى قيادة، وهذه القيادة أفلست كما ذكر في الشيوعية ورأسمالية إلى آخره وإلى آخره. بقي أن يقود هذه الأرض الإسلام، والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أخبر بهذا، بشر بهذا بوضوح في عدد من أحاديثه صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. فالقيادة الإسلامية قادمة، شاء من شاء وأبى من أبى، فلذلك ينبغي أن نكون نحن جنودا لهذه القيادة القادمة.
نعم.
نحن عندنا مبدأ أصيل أن هذا الدين صالح لكل زمان ومكان. ثانيا، جرب هذا الدين إن كان صح التعبير، يعني جرب هذا الدين فأقام إمبراطورية رائعة في قوتها وعظمتها وفي رحمتها بالعالمين وفي قيادتها البشرية على أحسن حال. فلما نحيت هذه الأمة عن الحكم بعد القرن العاشر الهجري ونزل بها ما نزل من المصائب، وجاء غيرها ليستلم قيادة البشرية، رأينا أسوأ الآثار في الأرض، ورأينا الظلم وجبروت العالم والاستكبار والطغيان. كل الذي يطالب به المشايخ والدعاة والعلماء هو أن يعود الإسلام يحكم في الأرض.
من هنا ينطلق بعون الله فتح القدس إن شاء الله. من هنا بدأت الثورة العربية، ومن هنا انتصر الشعب التونسي، ومن هنا الفتح بعون الله سبحانه. تأكدوا إخواني، يا إخواني أنتم الآن أمام لحظة تاريخية، أمام لحظة ربانية في دورة حضارية جديدة إن شاء الله، في الخلافة الراشدة السادسة إن شاء الله.
Remember the Crusaders? 1096 to 1293. By the way, do you know the exact date of the defeat of Richard the Lionhearted in 1293? September the 11th.
celebratory atmosphere, the V sign for victory being displayed in East Jerusalem today among jubilant Palestinians that the United States had been subject to this attack. What are we to make of that, Jennifer? Are we to, Yasser Arafat may issue this condemnation. Look at this. We're seeing people applauding, clapping, smiling, happy to know that thousands of Americans have died in this sneak attack, and there you see a V for victory sign.
But there has been no Third World War. There will be times when nations, acting individually or in concert, will find the use of force not only necessary, but morally justified. I am living testimony to the moral force of nonviolence. To say that force may sometimes be necessary, so yes, the instruments of war do have a role to play in preserving the peace. That war is sometimes necessary. Where force is necessary, we have a moral and strategic interest in binding ourselves to certain rules of conduct. This brings me to a second point: the nature of the peace that we seek. For peace is not merely the absence of visible conflict. Only a just peace, based on the inherent rights and dignity of every individual, can truly be lasting. That we all hope for the chance to live out our lives with some measure of happiness and fulfillment for ourselves and our families. It perhaps comes as no surprise that people fear the loss of what they cherish in their particular identities, their race, their tribe, and perhaps most powerfully, their religion. In some places, this fear has led to conflict. We see it in the Middle East as the conflict between Arabs and Jews seems to harden. We see it in nations that are torn asunder by tribal lines. And most dangerously, we see it in the way that religion is used to justify the murder of innocents by those who have distorted and defiled the great religion of Islam and who attacked my country from Afghanistan. These extremists are not the first to kill in the name of God. The cruelties of the Crusades are amply recorded. But they remind us that no holy war can ever be a just war. For if you truly believe that you are carrying out divine will, then there is no need for restraint, no need to spare the pregnant mother, or the medic, or the Red Cross worker, or even a person of one's own faith. Such a warped view of religion is not just incompatible with the concept of peace, but I believe it's incompatible with the very purpose of faith. For the one rule that lies at the heart of every major religion is that we do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Now, recent events have shown us that what sets us apart must not just be our power. It must also be the purpose behind it. And we saw that same desire to be free in Tunisia, where the will of the people proved more powerful than the writ of a dictator. And tonight, let us be clear. The United States of America stands with the people of Tunisia and supports the democratic aspirations of all people. 1 year ago, the hopes of the people of Tunisia were suppressed. But they chose the dignity of peaceful protest over the rule of an iron fist. A vendor lit a spark that took his own life. But he ignited a movement. And now the people of Tunisia are preparing for elections that will move them one step closer to the democracy that they deserve. 1 year ago, the people of Libya were ruled by the world's longest-serving dictator. The United Nations lived up to its charter. The Security Council authorized all necessary measures to prevent a massacre. The Arab League called for this effort. Arab nations joined a NATO-led coalition that halted Gaddafi's forces in their tracks. From Tripoli to Misrata to Benghazi, today Libya is free. Yesterday, the leaders of a new Libya took their rightful place beside us. And this week, the United States is reopening our embassy in Tripoli. This is how the international community is supposed to work. Nations standing together for the sake of peace and security, and individuals claiming their rights. Now all of us have a responsibility to support the new Libya, the new Libyan government, as they confront the challenge of turning this moment of promise into a just and lasting peace for all Libyans. So this has been a remarkable year. 1 year ago, Egypt had known one president for nearly 30 years. But for 18 days, the eyes of the world were glued to Tahrir Square, where Egyptians from all walks of life, men and women, young and old, Muslim and Christian, demanded their universal rights. We saw in those protesters the moral force of nonviolence that has lit the world from Delhi to Warsaw, from Selma to South Africa. And we knew that change had come to Egypt and to the Arab world. The Gaddafi regime is over. Gbagbo, Ben Ali, Mubarak are no longer in power. Osama bin Laden is gone. And the idea that change could only come through violence has been buried with him. Something's happening in our world. The way things have been is not the way that they will be. Technology is putting power into the hands of the people. The youth are delivering a powerful rebuke to dictatorship and rejecting the lie that some races, some peoples, some religions, some ethnicities do not desire democracy. But let us remember, peace is hard. Progress can be reversed.